What's up guys and girls, welcome back to a new video, and today we're focusing on strong women, and this is the first time we've actually covered a video for a group of ladies. I have covered Donna Moore before. Obviously she's the current 3 times strongest woman, and as we know she actually won, but very closely followed by Wales Becca Roberts, and obviously then followed by Lucy Underdown, from the UK as well. So this competition was hosted by Ultimate Strongman and also sponsored by Gorilla Glue, and it was these guys who actually put on UK Strongest Man about a month or so ago, where Gavin, aka the Ball Built On from Wales, won for the second time. So this is the official people for this competition, and it was live on 21st and 22nd of August 2021 in Bangor, the McKee Clock Arena, and it was actually available to live stream for free, by the way, guys and girls. And I've got the results here. So the first to second spots, and as you can see, Donna led by 1 point against Becca Roberts, and Lucy Underdown was third at 51. So I'm going to cover 4 of the athletes. There's too many to actually cover in this video alone, but as time goes by, when more competitions happen for the ladies, I am going to cover more of them and really put them all in the spotlight, because they all deserve it. It was an amazing competition and really impressive feats of strength from all of them. Whether they were in the lightweight category in the open with them, or they were already in the heavyweights, such as Donna Moore here. So I'm going to cover Donna first, because obviously she did win, and as we know, she's one of the favourites and is well known in the industry and the sport. And she did really well, absolutely great on the day, and I was really impressed with her, as always, to be honest. So I pulled up clips from the official footage, fan footage, and also family and friends supporting the athletes. So you've got different types of content to look at from the 2 days. The first day, in terms of the events, they had the keg load, so I believe it's between 70 and 100 kilos. Fastest person first to load them back and forward for a certain amount of lengths was the winner. Followed by that was a 200 kilo brick deadlift for reps, and with that one we actually had Lucy Underdown, the current world champion for the 300 kilo deadlift for women's, who actually tied with Rhiannon Lovelace, who's a 60 odd kilo lightweight who was invited to this competition. First time ever they let such a smaller person in stature go in the opens with the heavyweights. And funny enough, you'll see a photo coming up in a bit later with her and Becca standing together, and the size difference is absolutely unreal. So anyway, obviously that was the first event. So you've got the keg lows, you've got a couple of pictures here with Donna obviously doing that. There was also, like I said, the brick deadlift for reps, and she only managed to get 5 reps for this one, so I think she was saving some energy in the tank, obviously, for the other event after this, which was the tug of war. She also tied, by the way, second with Becca Roberts again from Wales for that event. So obviously, as we know, they were both second against Lucy Underdown, and Rhiannon Lovelace. Tug of war, now that was changed from a pole push because of the rain. Now you can see some umbrellas there from some of the fans. It was a little bit wet, unfortunately, and they had to change last minute that event to a tug of war. So obviously that's how it went. This is actually from the second day. This is the truck pull. So I will talk about that a little bit more when we get to some of the other athletes, but I just wanted you to see a little bit of Donna, how she did. Obviously overall she performed well to get the win. She managed to get just enough points on each event to take that win against all the other athletes. So she did really well. We all thought she would, to be honest, because she's, even though she's getting a little bit older and she's announcing that she's thinking of retiring soon, coming to the end of her career even, in her early 40s, she's still got a lot to give. She will be in World Ultimate Strongman, which is coming up very soon, which we can talk about at the end of the video, so looking forward to that. So just a quick recap, she took first in the tire flip. Log, she was second place with 115 kilos. The sandbag at 100 kilos was first. She obviously didn't do as well in the stones, but she kind of knew that. The same thing also for the truck pull, where she took third place. So well done, Donna, and obviously well done for taking that first place spot, considering you didn't dominate in every event, but overall you were consistent and definitely showed that you're still, like I said previously, a force to be reckoned with, and can't wait to see you at World's Ultimate Strongman coming up very soon. So that leads you on to the second athlete, and second place by just 1 point was Rebecca Roberts from Wales, the 6'3" giant. Now she took second on the keg carry on the first day, which she was really happy with, and obviously commented, like many of the other athletes, that it was really slippery on that floor, so she didn't want to fall over. And credit to her, she actually lost 9 stone for this competition. So to be able to have the second quickest time is an incredible thing for her. And you know, well done. That's absolutely amazing. So brick deadlift, she was joint first in her group. I forgot to mention, sorry, there were groups. So she was obviously first in her group for that one. She got a comfortable 5 reps, just like Donna did, and overall got the point she needed for that event. In the tug of war, she actually took first place, and I'll be honest, I'm not you know, surprised by that. You know, her sheer size, strength were going to shine on through. You know, grip and body weight, sorry, as she says, she's always had an advantage there, and that definitely was the case. She absolutely smashed it against her opponent, and it was an easy win. So obviously for her qualification to day 2, it was an easy joint first, and she did really well. And you know, I think she was definitely showing some of the other athletes that she's someone to watch out, because she was a bit of a beast, to be honest, in the nicest way possible, and was really good across all the events. We're not seeing any weaknesses at all at this stage. So a couple of things to note. The first event on the second day was a 200 kilo tie flip for over 20 meters, with Lucy Underdown leading all the way. She did hesitate in the final flip, which obviously then allowed Donna Moore to get in more involved and pip Lucy by just 1.32 seconds. Rhiannon Lovelace, by the way, again, like I mentioned, 60 kilos, the lightest competitor. She managed to tire, which is 3 times her body weight, 4 times to secure the 6th place. The second event, which is the log for maximum weight, saw Annabelle Chapman actually win with 120 kilos. That video will come up shortly. I'm just talking to you about it now because 5 women actually managed to press over 100 kilos. You know, and Annabelle, she's definitely going to beat or break the 135 kilo record soon, I think, because she looks so comfortable with that lift, and she's definitely a great presser. Donna, by the way, she looked really comfortable doing 115, like I mentioned previously in the video, but she decided not to go on just because she wanted to obviously secure that second place and not burn herself out. One thing to note as well, Shannon Clifford, who's an under 64 kilo competitor, she actually hit 95 kilos, so therefore getting a PB and taking the 6th place spot. And just lastly, I'm going to mention about Rebecca again, obviously, as we're covering her for the truck pull, which weighed over 8 tons, you can see here. Now, she actually won this with a time of 28.82. Lucy took second, and Donna suffered an equipment failure and then managed to still finish in a time of 30.79, therefore taking the 3rd place spot. So well done, ladies, for that, especially Donna for managing to recover from that one as well. Just to add, that was actually the 4th event, so I slightly skipped ahead there. We're going to talk about the event 3, which was the Serbia strength sack carry for distance. And, you know, Becca showed real class there with, you know, a 35-meter lead, dropping the sack at an astonishing 157 meters. So that's how long she carried it. Now, obviously, moving on to Lucy Underdown, and they were neck and neck. Her and Donna, sorry, but Lucy actually dropped it at 129 meters. So then, obviously, that allowed Donna to try and get some air and actually go on to win it. So Donna kept pausing at different times. Took her quite a long time to actually get through that event against the other ladies. Her heart and will led her on to keep going and not give up, and she ultimately won that event. Here we're seeing obviously the brick deadlift for reps, and you know, surprise, surprise, Lucy actually won. Well, she tied with Rhiannon, both getting 9 reps for 200 kilos on that brick deadlift. So this is one of our best lifts, one of our best events. You know, deadlift. We know about the 300 kilo world record she made about 2 months ago now at Ultimate Strongman. So well done to Lucy. Obviously, this being the first day of the competition, and it wasn't a surprise whatsoever. Lucy actually took 2nd place in the Super Dre Woman, which was the first event. So that was the keg carry, if you remember, guys and girls. Like I mentioned, she was joint first in the brick deadlift with 9 reps, and also in tug of war, which you're seeing here, she actually won and took 1st place. In day 2, with the tie flip at 200 kilos, she took 2nd place. The log max, she did 105 kilos, and the last time she did a competition, she failed at 85, when her max was actually 100. So she obviously was feeling really good with that, and you know, didn't fail like she had done in previous training sessions. So she managed to actually do really well in competition. So well done, Lucy, on that one. And as a result, became joint third on that event. The sandbag I have mentioned, obviously she started really well, but unfortunately, you know, she lost a bit of momentum, and you know, just unfortunately ended up not the position she wanted, but still took the 4th place spot, so getting some good points there. The truck pull, there was a little slip she had on the boards which cost her the win, but ultimately she only took 2nd, so that's not too bad at all. 2nd's better than the last. And then lastly, for the Atlas Stones, now they started at 100 kilos and went up to 145. She managed to load the first 4, so it's 100, 100 again, 100, 115 kilos, 135, and then 145. But she was the only girl, by the way, to actually lift the final stone, but she couldn't get the load up there. So well done, Lucy, on that one. And I think I've just missed out on one of the stone weights there, but I do believe the max was 145. So we've landed on the log press, as you can see, the max one. And as I mentioned previously in the video, I was going to speak about Annabelle Chapman. Obviously, she won that event. As you know, like I mentioned, she got the comfortable 120 kilo lift. And despite the fact that she actually only came 5th overall, I have to pay her props, and I have to highlight her in this video, because she's definitely becoming someone who's going to be talked about in the log press event for sure. You know, I think overall she's a pretty good athlete, and she's got really good potential to do well, and you know, take a podium place in future comps. She's still young. I think she's born in 93, so she's in her late 20s, and you know, she's still up and coming, still developing, still learning and honing her craft. And you know, that was amazing to see, 120 kilo lift. Like, it looked so effortless. And there's some men out there who can't even do that. You know, they dream of being able to lift that sort of weight, whether it's, you know, on a log, an axle, a barbell, you know, you name it. A lot of them can barely press 60 kilos, which is 20 a side, let alone 120. So, you know, massive props to her. Really, really impressive. And I think she's one to watch for, guys and girls. All she needs to do is practice a bit more on some of the other events. I will say, though, she absolutely smashed it on the stones. You know, she held her own with Rebecca Roberts, Lucy, Underdown and Donna Moore, because they were the only ones who actually lifted the 130 kilo stone. But it was quite obvious that after 2 days of, you know, competition and various events, that she was gassed like the others, and it was Roberts who took the maximum 12 points on that one, beating Lucy, by the way, with just by a second. So it's a pretty nail-biting finish. Donna did match that 130 kilo lift as well, as I mentioned. There was 4 ladies that did it, but no one was sure based on points who had won the title at that point. But as we know Donna won, albeit by not a huge lead, but nonetheless she still won. I think it was a bit unfortunate for Lucy. She should have probably been a bit higher, but you know, overall it wasn't a bad day for her. And the same thing for Annabelle. You know, I haven't mentioned, obviously haven't covered about Rebecca Cumpsty from England. She took 4th by half a point, so Annabelle was almost up there in the 4th place spot, but just missed out by half a point. And here it is here with her doing the stone lifts. So it's the only actual video I've got. I didn't want to show too much, because at the end of the day you can watch it live for free, or you can watch it on the replay on the Facebook group. So there's no point in showing you too much, and also have to respect the copyright for the you know, the people who make this. And I believe, by the way, it's going to be on Sky. It's the first time in years that it's actually going to be on TV. I'm not too sure on the dates as yet, but it will be the first time in 2 decades that Strongwoman's going to be featured on TV in the UK. This is what Donna Moore said in one of her Instagram posts. And the last time we saw Welsh Strong's Woman was in early 2000s. So, you know, it's been a long time coming. But this is a good progression in the sport for the women. You know, definitely becoming a lot more mainstream, more interest, more hype, hopefully more investment. I think what World Ultimate Strongman are going to be doing for the women is also going to massively help. So, lastly, Rhiannon Lovelace, and as we know, she's a world record holder in her own right for a lightweight category, for her powerlifting accolades. And here she is with Rebecca, as I mentioned before. Clear size difference there, you know, quite extreme, but nonetheless, I didn't hold Rhiannon back in any way whatsoever. So as I mentioned, Rhiannon is only 60 kilos. She got a special invite and was the first lightweight to actually ever grace the stage. And, you know, I really believe she deserved it. Just because she's a lot lighter small does not mean in any way that she cannot hold her own against the heavyweight girls. And she showed it, you know. She won the deadlift event. You know, she got 9 reps. She tied, sorry, with Lucy. She also won the keg medley as well, as we're watching here. And I think her size definitely was an advantage because the speed, you know, her cardio is going to be better. She's got less weight to move. You know, she'd definitely be lighter on her feet. But Lucy wasn't far behind her, as you can see there. So fair play to Lucy because she's a much heavier, almost double what Rhiannon weighs. So that was really good to see. But I was not surprised that with the moving events that Rhiannon would smash it. So the third event on the first day, the tug of war, she said she had a bit of an issue with her bicep, a bit of a twinge there in the tendon, so she decided to not really go OTT and called it a day. It cost her a point, but she wanted to keep her bicep heavy and knew that she had more to come in the following day. So overall, she finished in 4th as a result. But as you see here, this is where she gets the 9 reps with 200 kilos. And by the way, this is without a suit. It's with no straps. It's just her, raw, chalk on that bar, lifting it. And, you know, between her and Lucy, they hold all 3 deadlift world records. And it was great to see those two going head to head. You know, like just, and the size difference as well. Like, you know, like Lucy's like 6 foot, over 110 kilos, and you've got little Rhiannon against her, but she's a powerhouse. You know, to take 9 reps like that, and like I said, she's completely unequipped, no suit, nothing. It just goes to show what she can do against those heavyweights, and just how good of a deadlifter she is, and how good of an athlete. And she's still relatively young, mid-20s. So still so much more from her, and it was great to see that her and all the other ladies, by the way, didn't actually get injured, because that's always a risk. So fair play to Rhiannon, well done. And just one last thing to add, you know, to come 6th in your first competition like this, in an open one as well, an open weight, and to go in 6th is incredible. So she should be really proud and super excited for her future in Strongwoman and what's to come, and I am, and I'm definitely going to be covering her more, as well as all the other athletes in this video in future ones. So, like I mentioned about World's Ultra Strongman, it was originally going to be in Florida, September the 18th, but due to COVID, blah, 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 as always, unfortunately, it was relocated back to Dubai, where it's been previously. So now, obviously, we've got location change, but it's still going ahead. Fingers crossed, no cancellations. The athletes that are confirmed, obviously Donna Moore from the UK, what a surprise, she's obviously going to be there. Andrea Thompson, who was meant to be at UK Strongswim, but I don't really know what happened there. I don't know why she wasn't there, so please enlighten me if anyone knows. We've got Annabelle Chapman, obviously we've discussed her in this video, obviously from the UK, so that will be good to see her on the spotlight there. Really happy for her. And then got Corey Butler from the USA. So we do have a mixture of women from around the world. Corey I don't know too much on about, but obviously I'll be keeping a sharp eye on her and all the other athletes I don't know. Then you've got Melissa Peacock from Canada. So she's a lighter athlete at 81 kilos and is 25. Then we've got Nadia Stowers, 29, USA, and at the 84 kilo category. So she's about the middleweight, I believe. Then you've got Jessica Pfeiffer, she's 39 from the USA, another athlete. Then we've got Sandra Bradley, she's from Germany, 82 kilo category and 33, so she's looking pretty strong, but again, slightly lighter. And then lastly for the events, so the first one is the head-to-head on the log press, obviously being for reps, so going to be interesting to see how Annabelle and Donna do on that one, because obviously they're picked to be the... well, they are the best log pressers out of the whole group there, I'd say. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. And all these events, by the way, are going to be the same events for the men. Then you've obviously got the yoke for distance. For women, that's going to be 300 kilos. For the men, I'm going to talk about all the numbers and whatnot in a separate video to this. Event 3, we'll see the farmer's walk for speeds covering 30 meters with 110 kilos on those frames for the ladies. Event 4 is a mystery event, and I'm not sure if the rope's just there to try to deflect what it's actually going to be, but who knows, it could be a tug of war, so let me know what you guys think on that one. And the final event will be the Underdown run, as always, a staple for the finisher for the competitions. With those weights starting at 60 and ending on 150 kilos. Again, like I said, I'm just covering the weights for the women in this video. There'll be a separate video coming out soon for the men's. So guys and girls, let me know what you think about today's video, and obviously from the competition we saw for UK Strongest Women. What are your predictions for World's Ultimate Strongman? And also, you know, share your thoughts on the other athletes from the day. I will be talking about them in the future, and the ones I've discussed in this video. Well done to all ladies. Thanks Ultimate Strongman for putting on a great live feed for free as well. Really looking forward to seeing how the sport develops on TV, online, getting real presence and really, you know, showcasing these ladies and athletes in all what they do. So let me know in the comment section below. Guys and girls, if you're new to the video, as always, please remember to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. Amigo and Finis, signing out.